What's up, y'all? It's been a minute since I've done a What's Up, y'all. I haven't sent one of these in ages. But this just occurred to me, and I feel like I need to name it now as a thing that we need to be watching out for in 2022 and 2023 moving forward. I was just listening to a little clip about Zuckerberg renaming, Facebook the Metaverse, and I've been listening to a lot of talk about this Metaverse, as well as just listening to some talk around, Elon Musk and Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos all on their space, right? Their little personal space race, and the through line to all of these things, the one thing all this stuff has in common is that it is all a bunch of really, 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 really rich white men looking to escape the world they created. And whether that is escaping the world they created by going into space, or escaping the world they created by creating some sort of digital world that other people can go to so that they don't have to be here dealing with the realities of what imperialist, white, supremacist delusion, ableist, capitalist patriarchy has created, right? And it feels really important for us to not take this lightly, right? Like, the Metaverse, I imagine, because it appears to be that Mark Zuckerberg is really good at creating immersive platforms that facilitate an escape into our own self-created worlds. What is Facebook if not a rabbit hole of one's own, beliefs and ideologies reflected back at them via, outrage, right? What is Amazon if not a place to escape through consumerism, and so, why would these incredibly rich white men be creating all of these alternatives to leave, right? Whether it is leaving your mind or leave the physical atmosphere. And I imagine it would be because they recognize that they have disrupted the world in such a way that it is irreparable. And maybe it is, I don't actually believe in the world being irreparable. But it certainly is if we've decided that it is. And clearly, they've decided that they would rather, much like every other way in which white supremacist delusion, capitalist, patriarchy decides everything is disposable, right? When you're done with it, you just throw it away and you create something different. Like, here's what I really want us to be present to with this dynamic, right? Is that the world that they trashed and that they're looking to escape is a world built out of their imaginations, right? It is a world built out of the imagination of white supremacist heteropatriarchy and capitalism. That's the world we are having to figure out how to fucking navigate right now. And anything else that comes from these men's imaginations will inevitably have the exact same ingredients inside of it. And so, I'm going to go back to a thing that I have said before, that I continue to say, that I heard and will continue to raise an echo, because it feels to me like one of the most salient things about the time we are moving in is that we are in a battle of the imagination. And those are not my words, but I'm going to keep saying them. We are in a battle of the imagination. Whose imagination will we live in? And what I want to offer is that rich white men will continue to offer you their imagination to live inside of. Because their imagination is really boring if we not there, because we the bomb. We're what make it lit. We're what makes it appealing and interesting. And so their imagination is incredibly boring if we're not in it. But they will continue to offer their imagination as the place for us to reside. And that imagination will continue to be filled with what it has always been filled with: hierarchy, oppression, marginalization, hypercapitalism, and greed. It will continue to be filled with those exact dynamics, because that is the world in which they understand. It's the world they know, and it is the world they've decided defines them. Our assignment is to imagine a different world. That is our assignment right now. I'm so clear about it, is to imagine a different world. A world where we don't have to escape the planet that we're on, because we have done such a beautiful job restoring right relationship with it, that it provides us with so much joy and pleasure, abundance, and connection, that why would we need to go to space? All right? Why would I need to disappear into a computer life? Because I've made a rich, beautiful life of connection right here. That's the invitation. The invitation is to create the world where they have dumped, Mark Zuckerberg dumped $10 billion into making the metaverse. And I wonder what could have happened if he decided to dump $10 billion into fixing the dynamics that exist right now. But that's not what he's into. That's not what Branson's gonna do. That's not what Musk is gonna do, or Bezos. Nor do I expect them to, nor am I waiting for them to. I don't want to live in their imagination. I don't want to live in what they create. I want us to create the world that is going to be vibrant and fertile and fecund and gorgeous. I want us to create it. And so as you get invited in 2022 to continue to live inside of the imaginations of white supremacist, delusion, capitalist, patriarchy, I want you to continue to notice that and disavow that imagination as you feel pulled toward it, as it tugs on you, because it will. I want you to be like, I don't want that. What can I imagine as a more beautiful way? And make it concrete. Start in your house. What would my house look like right now? You know, and again, starting with what you have, because part of it is like we imagine, and I want us to imagine like the big sweeping things, but I want you to start with the small things. In the house I have right now, in the space where I am right now, I am imagining what would feel restorative and beautiful. Maybe that's cutting flowers from, as you walk down the street. Maybe that's planting a garden. Maybe that's striking up a conversation with a neighbor. Maybe that is starting a little neighborhood block cleanup to clean up the trash. Maybe that is baking a cake for your neighbor. I don't know what it is, but I want you to think about what it is. What is the world of connection that I would like to lean into right now? And then I want you to start putting that in real life. Start making it be so. Otherwise, we will be resigned, destined to live inside of the imaginations of rich white men. And I think we've been living in those imaginations for most of history. For most of modern history, certainly. And I believe there's something more divine on offer to us should we decide to step into it. So that's my wish for us in this new year. May we win the battle of the imaginations by choosing to live in the one that we decide. Love you all. Happy New Year.